Okay, so we are picking up where we left off with our created character, but this video is about leveling up. So let's assume that we have completed some events or been in some battles, and now we are leveling up our character. We already have the character over here. We have all these pieces in place. So let's move on to level 2, which you can see is right there. So when you gain experience points, and cards will often say whether it's 1 experience or 2, you are simply going to slide the cube from the left to the right. So you are following this track. And we are going to go through all of the major symbols on this paper. There's a few that repeat, and once you get the gist of superpowers, we don't have to go over those again. Okay, so let's level our character up to level 2. So we can see that at level 1, or rookie, you already get 1 event die. So these are the dice that you use during the events, and remember they generate hits, shields, and clues. There are 3 hits, 2 shields, and 1 clue on each 6-sided die. So at level 1, we get 1, and then proceeding at level 2, 3, 4, and then 6, 8, and 9, and again at 11, we earn more of these dice, meaning that we will be rolling more of them when we get into combat or into an event. So we're going to slide our EXP cube over to the right, but we notice that there is the random trait icon. So we're going to slide that over, covering up level 2, and then we're going to reach in our separate bucket for our trait icons. Now remember, this game always follows the premise of draw 2, pick 1. Draw 2, and pick 1. All right, so we got assassin and military. So remember, these are your traits, something special about your character, whether it's their background or where they came from, but there is a mechanical effect. So if we flip this over, you'll notice that it says that military is +1 shield and assassin is +1 hit. So I have a decision to make. Do I want to say that my character is a martial artist hero and has a military background or trait, or is he an assassin? I'm going to go with assassin for this one. So we're going to place that token right there with the small face up and the icon underneath. Now, when do you use these special traits? We'll get into that later in battle. So with our trait placed and our cube back on top, let's pretend now that we have leveled up to level 3. So just like before, we're going to be earning an extra event die to use in combat. So we're going to slide our cube tracker to the right, and we notice that that has the combat power symbol. So now it's time to earn your first big superpower. So we're going to take the stack here of the combat superpowers, and we're going to shuffle them all up. And then, same as before, we are going to draw 2 and pick 1. So here we ended up getting the pyrokinesis card with the subtext of fire form, or we got cryokinesis, so fire or ice. Well, let's take a closer look at these. So fire form and frozen touch both have an aura, meaning that they have a passive power, and that's pretty cool. Fire form deals 1 damage to every other player in the same zone as me, and frozen touch gives all players in adjacent zones -1 to their movement speed, so on their turn. Now they both have an offensive power, which allows them to turn a shield into a hit, so they can both go on the offense, but their PvP powers are slightly different. PvP for the fire allows you to add a hit, where PvP for the ice allows you to add a shield. So they're pretty similar in nature. There is a slight defensive edge to the cryokinesis card and a slight offensive edge to the pyrokinesis, but I gotta go with what I really like here. I gotta go with what speaks to me, so we're gonna go with cryokinesis. Okay, now we're looking at level 4. So we have earned experience and we're about to slide that tracker over to level 4. We are earning another event die here, which is good, makes us stronger. But we also have the item icon here for style item, and this is a big deal too. So we're going to slide that tracker cube over 1, and then we are going to go into our exclusive style item deck that's off to the side of your character board. And we're going to shuffle that all up once again. And then we are going to draw 2, pick 1. So there's our top 2. And we have Mystic Bangles and Student. All right, so let's take a closer look at these guys. So with these ones here, it looks like the Mystic Bangles, it adds 2 clues to your pool, but it's a trash effect, so it only lasts 1 time. However, the PvP power can be used multiple times over because that's for PvP. So that is an equipment card. But then we have Student over here, which is actually a sidekick card. So this is actually someone who's tagging along with you. It says their power is once per turn I can add 1 shield to my pool versus pawns. or I can re-roll an event die. So these guys really help you in combat against pawns. It's kind of like, well, it is your sidekick. They also have a trash effect saying that if I trash this card, you suffer no damage this turn. So they're kind of sacrificing themselves to save you a little bit. Now, if I'm getting these two, I'm gonna take the versatility of having an actual sidekick. So we're gonna place that down into the inventory slot at the top. And remember, you can hold 3 items up there. The other card is simply gonna go back into your style item deck, and you're gonna shuffle it once again so that it's random and place it face down beside your player board. So here we are now. We are level 4. We are a martial artist who has an assassin background. We've just unlocked our cryokinesis or ice-based powers, and we actually have a sidekick that tags along with us who helps us take on the small bad guys. So this is level 4. Now if we proceed to level 5, it's going to work similar as the combat superpower, but we're doing it with movement, so no need to touch there. But level 6, which is right up here, has the pencil icon, and that is where you would then flip over your origin story card. Okay, so now moving down the track, we're gonna see once again that we have another superpower, which is your blue genetic power, and then we're gaining another style item here. But these last 2 slots on the end here, level 9 and 10, those ones are pretty important. So on level 9, you'll notice that there is this arrow graph, this little circular arrow with 3 arrows pointing into each other. We have yellow, orange, and purple. This signifies a respec, so it gives you your character a chance to somewhat reconstruct themselves just before they get to the end. And this would allow you to convert any 2 cubes on your reputation tracker to another 2 cubes, so you can shift anything twice. And similarly, at level 10, you'll notice it's the same kind of graph with a bunch of arrows, but it's black, red, green, and blue. And that is your power respec. So if there's any superpower that you are not feeling is giving you the advantage anymore or not quite working, you can simply discard that power and then of the same color, draw 2 and pick 1 from the deck. And then at the very end, level 11, you are now a legend, and that gives you your last and final event cube. And by the time you are done through leveling up, you'll have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 event dice to roll along with your superpower die. So that's it. That's how you level up. Every time you go to the next level, you are either going to be earning event dice to make you stronger, or you're going to be earning special items, new superpowers, or a chance to reconstruct your character. Now, how we earn experience and how we utilize some of these special powers and abilities, that will all be done in our combat and event video. Stick around for that, and we'll see you in the next one.